Do audiobooks count as reading? That's a question that pops up all the time on bookish social media. A lot of different people, influencers, authors talk about it. And I think that the real answer that I come to is I reject the question fundamentally. I reject it on its premise because what do we mean by count? I mean, reading isn't a game, it isn't a sport, it isn't a competition. And when we say something like counting, we're usually referring to falling within the bounds of a rule set for a competition. And that's not what reading is. Reading is a leisure pursuit undertaken for pleasure or for edification. It's undertaken for the beauty or the knowledge that we gain from what we read. And so when we start asking, well, does this particular mode or does this particular genre or does this particular type of writing or of consuming writing count? We miss the point and we make it something silly and trite. And so are there differences between audiobooks and physical books? On this front, I would say there absolutely are, and I think they're interesting. There are reasons why I will consume some things as audiobooks and other things as physical books. What it comes down for me is if I am reading a book because I love its prose, because I want to learn from the way that the words and the sentence and the paragraphs are structured, because I want to see the author's decisions regarding punctuation and such, I will always go to the written word. I will read it physically because that is where I retain most of that information about prose, about craft, and it is edifying to me in that way. Similarly, if I want to read something that is nonfiction to learn from, I will probably go to a written text because I can go back over very quickly, I can underline, I can note. There are ways to help myself secure the specifics of the information much more easily than if I'm listening to somebody and have to rewind and then listen to them again. For nonfiction, I find written text much more workable and productive. However, if I am reading something for the sheer enjoyment of the narrative, of the story, I will usually go to an audiobook. I love the audiobooks for Brandon Sanderson, for Jim Butcher, for Robert Jordan, for Game of Thrones. All of these audiobooks are excellent because the narrators are able to give specific inflections to their characters and they're able to add nuance to the writing that I might not have input myself. I might have input a different nuance, but when I listen to the audiobook, I get to benefit from the beauty of the performance as well as from the beauty of the writing. And I think that there's a lot of value in that. And I think that when we dismiss audiobooks and cling to just written texts, we dismiss another entire art form that can add to writing. So for me, the question, do audiobooks count, is a non-starter. Audiobooks are another form of consuming written word. And if you want to ask if they count as reading, I think you're already missing the point. And on that note, if you enjoy audiobooks, check out The Fall of Ingwe. Probably can't see that very well. It's plastic in front of the lights. There's probably all kinds of reflections. But this is my full cast audio drama written about a god of death who grows a little too close to the world he's supposed to be reaping from. Has 18 voice actors, full sound effects, full immersive theatrical experience. And if you enjoy consuming your books in audio, I think you will get something really enjoyable out of this. I love producing it that way. It was a joy to work with other creatives, have them add their craft to my writing so that the reader not only gets my writing, but also gets all the skill from the composer and the 18 actors and the sound designer and the Foley artist. I think there's a lot of value in that. So if you enjoy audiobooks, please check out The Fall of Ingwe.